Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. NBA playoffs, round two. Let's see, not March. How about May 8th? They both start with MA, right? We were close on that one. So 5 o'clock out here in Phoenix, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Game 2, Pacers-Knicks. Only game on the board for the night. As we wait on Thursday for some games, and then Friday as well. So only game on the board. Line was 5. Some books moving to 4.5 already. Knicks favored in this one. Knicks were 5.5, 6-point favorite in game 1. Didn't cover. Line finished at 4. So what do? We come back in game 2 and it's 4.5. Okay. All right. I'm surprised it didn't go to 3.5 on that one there. Money line wise, Knicks about $1.80 favorite. Pacers about $1.50 or so on the money line, plus $1.50. Total has went up though, up to 222 after the teams combined for I think it was like 130 or 230 plus points in the last matchup. Now, I think this game's going to boil down to a couple different things, obviously, but if I expect Brunson to have another monster game. The Pacers' theory in this one should be to shut down DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, and the rest of the crew for the Knicks. Let Brunson get his 40, and they should have a good opportunity to win this particular game. But if the Pacers do what they did in the last game, and I'm focusing on you, Mr. Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam, where you guys were non-existent offensively, especially in the first half, even though you were ahead, it's not going to work out well for you at all. Now, the Indiana bench was superb. TJ McConnell, Obi Toppin, both guys fantastic off the bench for the Pacers. The Knicks had no bench. They got 3 points from their bench in game 1. Miles McBride, having him out there was just a joke. I don't know what he was doing out there. It was pitiful. Josh Hart played all 48 minutes of that game. I'm going to tell you right now, the Pacers got their pace of game that they wanted. This was not a game played in the 90s or low hundreds. This game was played in the 120s. Exactly what the Pacers wanted and didn't finish up on the right side. And a lot of it had to do with Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. Miles Turner had a good game. Give him some props in that mess. Of course, there was a bunch of calls at the end of the game that were missed. That happens in every damn Knicks game, because every one of those Knicks games are close. You have to execute last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, especially in order for your team to win. You have to, but the Pacers, this was the part. So the Knicks come out, they barely win the first quarter. Okay, so they were up 3 at the end of 1, the line 2.5. So they even covered the first quarter. The second quarter, the Pacers, that second unit put it to them. TJ McConnell was running all over the place. Obi was grabbing a bunch of boards. But once again, where the hell was Pascal Siakam and Halliburton? Those two guys have to score. They will not win without it. I mean, it's just that simple. And defensively, I know they don't play great defense, but let's focus on two guys that you have to play defense on. Josh Hart and especially DiVincenzo, because if he starts stroking from 3, it makes Jalen Brunson's life that much easier in the paint where Brunson wants to play anyway. So that's what the Pacers have to do. The Knicks, what do they have to do? They have to figure out a way to slow this game down. They are not going to win. I don't believe they're going to win this series if games are played in the 110s and 120s. They need to play something closer to 100 points. If they do that, they beat the Pacers, I think, all day long. You make the Pacers play a bunch of half-court offense, I think you got them. Even if you don't shoot the ball well, you still have an excellent chance to win the game. And Brunson can still go for 35 as they go for 100. They've got to slow the pace of play down a little bit for the Knicks. They did get a win in game 1. I think they got very fortunate towards the end of that game. Indiana gave them a bunch of stuff at the end of that game. Now, Reggie Miller is calling the game for game 2. Some interesting news there, as Reggie Miller called himself the boogeyman coming back to Madison Square Garden in that one. So he'll be calling the game. I'm sure Reggie will get a bunch of boos as well in that one. I'm sure Spike Lee will come over and I don't know, say high or something to that effect. But in this game here, it's once again, I think the Knicks can win, no question. But I couldn't turn down 5 points. I think the line was too high at 5. That's why you're seeing it move down to 4.5, stuff like that at the moment. The line really needs to be probably about 2.5. If the line's at 2.5, I might swing to the Knicks' way on that particular part, but not at the bigger number there. They normally don't win by that many points. It's normally really tight coming down the clutch, and Jalen Brunson's fantastic in the clutch normally. So it's easy as that, right? And not only that, if they miss a shot, it seems like they always get the offensive rebound as their best offensive rebounding team in the league. The one advantage that the Knicks really have in this one is they have a dude that will go get 40, which the Pacers really don't have. Halliburton or Siakam are not like that. They're not going to go get 40. They might go off one night and get you maybe 35, but they're not going to get you those additional points there and the rebounding. That's the two big areas of where the Knicks have them beat. So we'll see if they can what's going to transpire here. We'll give you our bets in this particular game. For us, like I said, it's all about the points. It has nothing to do with anything else besides the points in this one. I still think the books are off a little bit, and I think you're paying a little bit of New York juice. If you're a Knicks fan or you like the Knicks and you want to bet the Knicks, I think you're paying a little bit for it in that one. It's kind of like betting on the Lakers or the Cowboys, right? So, or lately here, the Chiefs, if you want to bet on Patrick Mahomes. The book's going to make you pay a tax for it, so to speak. So we'll give you the bets here. We like the Pacers plus 1.5 first quarter, plus 2.5 in the first half, plus 5 for the game. All right, then we'll get into player props. Halliburton over 16.5 points. He did not take near enough shots. I expect him to shoot quite a bit more in this one. Halliburton 3+ threes. And Halliburton over 8.5 assists. Halliburton over 29.5 par. That has been his lowest number I've seen in months on his par bet there. And Halliburton over 2.5 turnovers. Then we've got Miles Turner over 17.5 points. 2+ threes. And we like Turner for 2+ blocks as well in this matchup. Is everybody going the hole? Turner needs to plant his ass down in the blocks on defense and get some blocks there. DiVincenzo had a hot game the last game. I do not expect 2 of those in a row, so under 3.5 threes for DiVincenzo in this one. Then we also like Ben Shepherd off the bench, 2+ threes. And then we'll get into Brunson, under 8.5 assists. Little juicy, like -145. That was on DraftKings. Some places have it at 7.5. So if you're going under, obviously the 8.5 number is the one you're looking for in that one. I don't expect him to have a bunch of assists. Even though the other guys were scoring, he still only had 6 assists in game 1. Then we've got Brunson under 50.5 par. 50.5? That is a huge number. You're talking Luka and Jokic numbers. When you get up to that 50 range there, he could score 40 and still fall short, I think, of that 50.5 number. 44-4, we still cash that ticket. Brunson also over 3.5 turnovers. So one more time, Pacers Knicks, game 2. We've got Pacers plus 1.5 in the first quarter, plus 2.5 first half, plus 5 for the game. Halliburton over 16.5 points. 3+ threes, over 8.5 assists, over 29.5 par points, assists, rebounds combined. Also over 2.5 turnovers. Miles Turner for the Pacers over 17.5 points, 2+ threes, and 2+ blocks. DiVincenzo under 3.5 threes. Ben Shepherd for the Pacers off the bench, 2+ threes. And then we've got Jalen Brunson under 8.5 assists, under 50.5 par points, assists, rebounds combined, and then also over 3.5 turnovers. If he keeps going to the middle, they're going to figure out a way, I think, to deflect a lot of balls, things of that nature, take a charge here or there on that one as well. So that's the turnovers there. But the two guys that handle the ball the most, Brunson and Halliburton, we think will turn the ball over. It's the playoffs. A lot of things happen. Turnovers happen in that one. So if you want to see all of our bets, no problem whatsoever. We have those posted in multiple spots. Let me tell you where. at the end of every episode on YouTube in the comments section. Also on our YouTube and TikTok channel pages, you will see a link to our bets. It's docs.google.com/spreadsheet. Click in that link, go to the sport you want. So this would be the basketball, obviously, 23-24 season. Scroll down to May 8th. You'll be able to see all of these bets that we've already made for the Pacers and for the Knicks. So make sure you do check that out when you get some time. Well worth your time to go through it. It's a reference guide. We're a volume better, so the best way to follow up with us or follow us, our bets, is to take a look at that after you watch the breakdown on the episodes. And as always, if you want to make life easy to find us, no problem at all. Make sure you hit subscribe on YouTube or follow us on any other social media platform. We'll show up in your subscriptions tab or followers tab, so make sure you can do that. And if you want to make life even easier to find us, make sure you turn those notifications on on the social media platform that you watch us on. You'll get a notification that Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of bets. Give you plenty of time to match those up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.